Assalamualaikum. Hi guys. Today I would like to deliver chapter number 4. This is about factors that affect the distribution and abundance. This chapter number 4 is actually more into focusing on habitat selection. Okay, so the outcome-based education, after finish this chapter, you should be able to understand about the factors that affect distribution and abundance, which is about habitat selections. So this is chapter outline. You can take a look through your notes. Actually they are the same. Okay, 10 chapter outline here. Number 1, habitat selection behavior. Number 2, definition and perception. Next, approach, proximal and ultimate approach. Number 4, behavioral mechanisms. For example, there are few examples here, animals related to. Number 5, habitat selection in relation in body size. 6, hierarchical decision making. Number 7, conceptual model. Habitat choice in bird. This is point to Cody 1985. Then evolution of habit preference, and last one is about theory of habitat selection or RFD model. Okay, we take a look about definition and approach to study habitat selection. So habitat selection and behavior, even though some organisms can occupy certain habitats, they choose not to do. Why? Because distribution is thus limited by their behavior. So because of behavior, so they will choose or select their habitat. So this is a definition of habitat. Okay, so any part of the biosphere where a particular species can live, either temporarily or permanently. So please make sure you answer the question in very complete manner like this. If the question asking you about definition of habitat. So different organisms have different perceptions to different habitats. Areas similar to us may be different to fishes or mosquitoes. So the question is, what elements do organisms recognize as a suitable or relevant habitat? Of course, their approaches. So there are two approaches to studying habitat selection. Number 1, proximal approach, and number 2, ultimate approach. Okay, we'll take a look one by one. Proximal approach is actually behavioral mechanism of how animals choose habitat. Meanwhile, for ultimate approach, this is evolutionary approach. Okay, adaptive reasons for habitat choice and evolutionary significance of the behavior conferring survival value and high fitness. Okay, habitat selection between animals or behavioral mechanisms more into choice, and plants, okay, more into dispersal affected by chemical or physical factors. So they have no choice because they cannot move. Okay, they are very different habitat selection between animal and plant. Okay, behavioral mechanism of habitat selection. So now we take a look one by one an example. Simple habitat selection based on environmental gradient. This is habitat selection for the isopod. Okay, so scientific name Pocelloscaba. They actually dependent on moisture gradient, dry and wet. Okay, it moves randomly, and it finds moist air. It slows down and comes to rest. So this is actually about their own simple habitat selection based on environmental gradient. Example number 2a, simple one is based on chemical chaos. Okay, for example here, some use chemical chaos to select habitat. For example, here is a corn borer females, or viposit on corn because attracted by volatile odors or chemicals from corn's plant. So this is actually based on chemical chaos. Example next one is simple habitat selection based on chemical chaos again, but this is different species. About leaf beetle or Caloptera, select the habitat on cucurbitans or squash, normally in squash, melon and cucumber, due to the chemical cucurbitacins. Okay, so there are actually about 105,000 species of Caloptera also do the same. Next one is habitat selection based on behavioral dancing oviposit mosquito. This is a very special one. Some organisms do not select a habitat even though it is suitable for its developing stages. So this is happening in India. What happened in India? This type of mosquito called Anopheles culissifacis, a malaria vector, is not found in rice fields after the plant grows to the height of 12 inches, about 20 centimeter. This rice field supports another species. Okay, so Russell and Rowe in 1942 could not find eggs of the mosquito, but when they transplanted eggs to older rice fields, the eggs survived and produced normal adults. So the absence of mosquito is due to the selection of oviposition by females. Mechanical obstruction by the rice stalks was the limiting factors because the female does dance before ovipositing, and the rice plants prevents this action. So this is a barrier. Okay, so in this way it restricts the species to a habitat range less than that which it could occupy. Okay, next one is habitat selection in relation to body size. If you look at that, the body size are small and big and small. Okay, especially this one happen in desert. Okay, in desert area, larger species of rodent, this is species of mouse, means Merriami, prefer open habitats with smaller species, which is Catodipus penicillatus, prefer covered or sheltered habitats. Okay, experiment result Thomson in 1982 showed that habitat types to body size. Number one, larger species in open habitat have enlarged hind legs, speedy locomotion, and well-developed hearing, reduced risk of predation. Number two, smaller species live in sheltered habitats to hide, reduce predation. Habitat selection as a result of body size to reduce predation. Okay, this is the graph. I think figure 5.4. I think you just take a look. This is just a comparison between the big and size and small size of the mouse. This one also the same thing. Prefer open species for the large one and shelter for the small one. Okay, next we move on into hierarchical decision making. Habitat selection operates the level of the individual animal. Decisions are made in hierarchical manner from a large scale to a micro habitat scale. For example, for a migratory birds, for example, hierarchical decision process in Mexican bird. Okay, if you look at that, this is actually why they decide. Okay, the hierarchical decision making, whether they want to go to west, south, woodland, shrubs, or whatever. So it depends on their decision making. Conceptual or habitat that influences habitat choice. Okay, this is actually the last slide for chapter number 4, half of the chapter number 4. If you look at that, this is actually figure 5.2 about conceptual models to various factors that may affect habitat selection at the local level. This constraint operate to limit the range of habitats occupied by a species. Okay, this is from Wins 1985. Okay, if you look at that, this is actually just an experiment variation. Okay, so how they choose the habitat. Okay, habitat chaos, present of concept specific, present of other organisms, time lag, habitat selection template. So last they will choose it. Okay, so they realize habitat selection. Okay, I think that's all for now. So we continue to the next slide later on. Okay, thank you.